Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am wearing a sequin skirt at midnight in my bathroom, so that's how it's been going. Today I had a different video planned, but we're just improvising at this point, and this is a video I had planned for later and we're gonna do it now. This video is about my transition between two different kinds of beauty and aesthetics in my life. And I'm just it's kind of a story time, so sit back and enjoy, and I'm going to try and not make it agonizing to listen to. For people who are new onto my YouTube channel, or people who this is the first video that you've ever watched on my channel, then you don't know anything about me probably. And you wouldn't know that I don't normally look like this. I don't normally look this put together, and I do not look this theatrical. And I kind of want to talk about that and how it has affected me, because my beauty standards and my aesthetic does not just say something about how I look, but it says something about the inner monologue in my brain and how I walk through life. Because as an artist, I just take everything to a symbolic level because it's just a kind of compulsion at this point. So that's kind of what this video is. Me in that transition and what it meant at both stages of my life. So, like I said, I didn't normally look like this at all. And in fact, I rejected this entirely for a very long time. I grew up in a European household, and the European ideal of beauty is to be natural, is to be healthy, and to be pretty low maintenance. Having this drilled into my head for such a long time, I really embraced it. Here and there, I would do some kind of crazy experiments in the bathroom, you know, do crazy makeup and stuff, but as far as going out into public and really accepting a certain type of ideal of beauty, I was pretty natural, and I just kept it simple because of that ideal. I was always told that putting on makeup was unnecessary, it was tedious, it was expensive. I was always told that putting on makeup was kind of a way to hide yourself, to manipulate the way you look. And that was in a derogatory way. It was not introduced to me, that idea was not introduced to me as a good thing. Whereas later on, like right now, I see it as something very fun and interesting. But basically, on a daily basis, I would go out into the world being as naked as possible when it came to beauty. I did almost nothing to my face. I kept myself pretty natural as far as eyebrows and makeups. I didn't even do skincare or anything like that. And my clothing was pretty neutral. My style, I'm not gonna get it like into the fashion aspect, but my style was, you know, a lot of black, a lot of tailored pieces. And now my wardrobe is a lot brighter. And I think this is me getting into this psychological aspect that's more of the meat and bones of this conversation. At that time, I resonated with this idea of natural beauty. I always had a darkness to me, despite that. And I saw natural beauty as a way to kind of be more serious and be taken seriously, to appear more mature, kind of come off that I was older, and that I was secretive and mysterious. And that's kind of, I liked the idea of going out into public and not having to hide or alter my appearance because I was comfortable with what I looked like. And if you guys watched, or you should, I'll put a card up above. If you watched my transformation video, it's towards the end, and I kind of have a commentary where I'm so hungover, and I talk about how bored I was. It took me a long time to be bored. I was so bored with being naturally pretty. And I know that sounds maybe vain to say that I think that I'm attractive, but I'm just going to be very real, and I think it's empowering to bring yourself up rather than tear yourself down. So I'm gonna leave that where it is. I was tired of being naturally pretty. I was tired of just this, working on skincare and trying not to even put on mascara. Like, I was very low maintenance. I guess this turning point where I was annoyed and bored with this type of beauty. I didn't obviously go directly into this look. I guess I'll come up closer so you can see. Okay, I got the eyebrows going. Fake lashes. Never thought I'd wear fake lashes in my life. Don't wear foundation though. I don't like the way it feels, so I don't wear it. But yeah, this transition, very, very early transition, started whenever I was in the late years of college, which was fairly recently. And I started to be a little bit more experimental with my makeup, but it was mostly just like line work. It wasn't colors and more involved glamour looks. And then it's like all at once. And I had pre-recorded this video, so I talked in another video for like 20 minutes, and I figured out the psychology behind why I changed into this so drastically, and it was because of my move to Hawaii. And I know that sounds crazy, I'll explain it. So we have this very subtle change into like wanting to be something different, or wanting to express a part of myself that I was kind of afraid to express, but I was interested in. I was very interested in women that had very elaborate looks, women that were dressed in a way that was provocative and brightly colored, and I was very interested in women that kind of openly exhibited a kind of sensuality in the way that they looked. And I was afraid to show this for a long time because I thought that bright colors and wearing push-up bras and putting on, elaborate makeup and all this made me a coward, because it meant that I was covering up my actual beauty, my original face, And this was like a key thing for a really long time. I felt like if I put on too much makeup, I was slapping my own God-given beauty in the face, and that was ridiculous. And I was such an asshole for such a long time, and very naive to just think that that was all that beauty was. It was like a disguise, that it was a way to hide. And it is, but I use it for theater. So I'm gonna reel it back. Okay, so now we have moved to Hawaii. I live on the island of Kauai, and it is very, very different. Not my style, but I'm here because I need to be here. And I have realized that once I moved here, this started to come on. This curiosity started to really enhance, started to expand at a rate that I almost wasn't ready for. I wasn't even conscious of. All of a sudden, almost every day, I'm looking like this, because it brings me joy. And I wondered, why, especially since Kauai is a place where wearing makeup or wearing elaborate clothes or anything like that is just a burden. It's not that kind of lifestyle. It's hot and you want to be comfortable. And so I started to realize that this beauty, this type of beauty, this type of aesthetic resulted because I was trying to escape my surroundings. I have always been a contrarian by nature ever since I was young. I felt the need to differentiate myself as a form of kind of like a FU to society, and also as a way to protect myself. Because when you stand alone, there's a certain independence, and that brings, it sounds like it would be a vulnerable position, but it actually brings a great deal of solidarity with oneself. So I realized that the more that I was doing this makeup every night, you know, I didn't have a job for a long time. I was doing this makeup every night because I wanted to escape. This kind of makeup, to me, is fantasy. And because I'm in, forget about like where I live specifically, but, or the circumstances, but we all have a time in our life that is not ideal, and we wish to find a way to escape. And I want to make a more elaborate video on this concept, but beauty is a form of coping. It is a coping mechanism for many people, and that is what I realized what I was doing. And that is what I'm doing right now, just even talking about it, talking through it. I was using beauty as a way to not only revolt against the situation that I was in so that I could maintain who I was deep inside, maintain my artistic integrity, maintain my ever-changing personality, to maintain my lust for something new and unique. And it just kind of ended up in this look. I don't know if this looks like revolt to you, but looking back on my life and listening to me talk about you know, my previous experiences with beauty and my previous standards for beauty, this is very much a revolt. This is very much unnatural, excessive. I mean, the eyebrows are crazy. Now, to kind of go back to this coping mechanism. So this kind of goes with this idea of like romanticization of things, and the mental health community has a lot to say about that, because they think that romanticization of mental illness or certain things is really bad, because it completely depletes any idea of what the actual reality of the situation is. But for what it's worth, romanticization of something, or using beauty and artifice, which this is the phase for me. I like to call it artifice, because this is very artificial, the way that I look. Artifice is a way to escape. It's my way to escape. It always has been. Whether or not it was makeup or art, it's besides the point. I've always used beauty as a way to escape from things that I cannot control, from things that are out of my control, from things that frighten me deeply. And you may think, this is ridiculous, you know, this is just some beauty phase that you're going through. But I do not find it just a coincidence that I decided to look this way, that I decided to change my appearance so drastically at a time that I almost needed to reaffirm who I was on the inside. And you may say, you know, Celine, I thought who you were was like this natural girl and you're transitioning into something new. I'll explain that, because I feel like I haven't really explained it very well yet. So I've always felt the need to be very serious. I've always felt the need to be dark and subdued and mysterious. When in reality, if you knew me, I'm pretty bubbly and loud and intense in person. And you would think that that kind of personality wouldn't translate into someone who wears black all the time and is very serious and, you know, stoic in appearance. And so I think it's funny that now here I am wearing bright, provocative colors, and I'm wearing outfits that are, you know, very revealing and that I'm almost provoking on purpose. I change my hair color, blah, blah, blah. It's not blue enough. I have to dye it, but I think it's interesting that I'm connecting with a more essential, more core part of who I am that I kind of rejected as this very, like, I don't know, as someone who took themselves too seriously and thought that being colorful and sweet and, you know, laughing all the time was something that was just like naive and only the characteristic of somebody that didn't understand the tragedy of life or something ridiculous like that. And so I'm just gonna get to the point here. So we had the beginning where my, like everybody starts out with this idea or philosophy on life that you are born into because of your family or whatever it is. And then you move on to the world and you are in a state of confusion, a state of in-between. Like I was whenever I was just doing a little bit of line work and I was kind of just like being myself but on the verge of something. And then you become an individual and you move into a place where you start to experiment and you start to find yourself almost subconsciously in a place that feels like your home, a body in this case that feels like my home, a skin that feels like my home. And I feel like I'm probably just scratching the surface, but it's something. I feel like I've rejected this what seemed to me to be a very, wise way of living as natural and dark and mysterious. That was actually very naive because now I express myself a lot more and I'm more open and I'm more sweet and I'm truthful with my personality and how I am. I'm not trying to subdue this bubbly, very happy part of myself. I'm trying to enhance it now. And ironically, because I'm trying to enhance my personality, I'm enhancing my features. I'm enhancing the most basic parts of my body in order to kind of get that across in another way. So, yeah, I think beauty needs to be talked about more as almost like a medium. I don't think that beauty just has to be talked about as like, a glow up with me or like get ready with me or like simple everyday tricks to natural beauty. Like, it doesn't have to be that. That's what my channel is about, is talking about beauty in all of its forms. And even at times, talking about beauty as if it is a force of its own. And that is what beauty has done to me. That was my transition. Beauty literally, to me, helped me to develop into who I am, or at least to guide the way to something more, for me to learn more about myself. Because I see beauty, in this case it's makeup and clothes. I see beauty as a way to, as a medium, as an artistic medium. Whenever you're making art, and you have this really interesting point where it's almost like the work is creating itself, and you're no longer guiding your own hand. That's kind of what this is. That's where I'm at. I'm letting like my subconscious, I'm letting some kind of otherworldly, almost godlike presence guide me through things. And I've actually said that I think that beauty is my kind of religion at this point, so I think it fits. So, all right. Should I tell you that this is probably like the 5th time that I recorded this video? The first 2 times I was so drunk because I was nervous, so then I got drunk, and then I got too drunk to talk, and then it just didn't work out. So this is day 2, and hopefully this is good. So, all right. It is ta-ta for now. And let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you've had a similar experience. Let me know what beauty means to you. Let me know if beauty has, you know, changed your life in the way that it changed mine. So, yeah, let me know. Let's talk. Let's have a good time. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Goodbye.